Hey yo, what is going on guys? JP here with another Biz Rich video. Today we are talking about Gary Vaynerchuk's book, Crush It. We're going to be answering the questions, is it relevant? Would I recommend it? And go over some key points from the book that I think I should share with you. As far as is it relevant, the reason we're talking about that is because the book was published in 2009. And since the book talks about social media and utilizing social media platforms to build an online presence and personal brand, I think it is important to discuss, is the book still relevant? Because 10 years in internet or like technology time is an eternity. This kind of ties into would I recommend the book. Personally, I like the book. The book is a little thin as far as content. Basically about 80% of the book is fluff, where Gary Vee is kind of telling you to work your ass off and you have to be passionate and all that kind of stuff. So it's not really contributing to your toolbox of things you can implement to build your online presence or personal brand. But the other 20% does give you concrete actions and steps to take to build your personal brand and online presence. And he also talks about different social media platforms to utilize to build your personal brand. One thing I did like is that he did provide a checklist of steps to take to build your personal brand. And I actually think this is only in the audiobook, which is what I was using. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, we do have a link to the free audiobook. If you would like the audiobook for free, definitely check that out. The checklist for the readers of steps to take to build your personal brand, I definitely appreciated that as someone who really likes the concrete actions to implement in my personal brand and online business. So even though the book was lacking a little substance, I still would recommend the book, and here's why. It's primarily due to Gary Vaynerchuk's clout. Yes, there are people with bigger or stronger personal brands, such as Oprah, which he talks about in the book, but I personally believe Gary Vee dominates the personal brand of personal branding. And for that reason, if you're looking to build an online brand, personal brand, or do something similar to Gary, I would suggest consuming his content, and that is including this book. So let's move on to the checklist that he provides in this audiobook of steps you should take to build your personal brand. So number one is identify your passion. In the book, he talks about various ways or questions to ask yourself to determine is what you're talking about actually what you're passionate about. And a lot of that is it energizing for you, right? So if you're really interested in something, you can kind of do it all day, right? So if you don't have to take frequent breaks from it, that's probably something you're really passionate about. Number two, make sure you can write at least 50 blog posts about your topic. And I think this kind of ties into the whole passion part. So if you're passionate about something, you can obviously talk for days about it. So you can clearly make up 50 blog topics about it. And when he says blog, he's including all mediums. Vlog, online, like a written blog or a podcast, he's including all that. Number three, he says, answer the following questions. 1, am I sure my passion is the one I think it is? 2, can I talk about it better than anyone else, or at least within the top 10? So personally, I don't like this step. I just think it's a little redundant. 2, I don't think someone has to be better than anyone else about the topic. Because if that was the case, we would have way less content than we actually have online. And we would see a lot less people building a personal brand and being successful at it. I think it more has to do with you resonating or connecting with specific people. So for that reason, I don't really like this step. So number 4, he says, name your personal brand. He gives examples such as the no BS real estate agent and the connoisseur of cookware. So that kind of gives you an idea of what he's talking about as far as name your personal brand. He says you don't actually have to put this in any of your content, but it's just something to make sure that all your actions are aligning to that brand, right? Number 5, buy your username. he specifically says .com and .tv, and he's meaning domain. So by your name, like johnsmith.com, johnsmith.tv. Pretty self-explanatory. Then he says to choose your medium. And here is what I was talking about earlier, where I was saying you can pick audio, video, or a written type of way to communicate. For me, video is very engaging, so that is why I chose that as my medium. And you can just pick whatever speaks to you. Next, he says to start a WordPress or Tumblr blog. Not familiar with WordPress, but for me, I think it's kind of expanded into like a website, basically just a website, and Tumblr is a blogging, kind of a mixture of like a social media platform with a blogging platform. So I could see how that's powerful when he talks about how like you can gain traction through stuff being reblogged. So that seems like a good tool. I have looked it up, and Tumblr is not that popular. I think it's just a little more of a niche type social media platform. Number 8, he says hire a designer, because he's saying your online presence or platform needs to look good and presentable and also be the most effective as far as conversions and stuff of that sort. Number 9, include a Facebook Connect link, call to action buttons, share functions, and a button that invites people to do business with you in a prominent place. I actually really like this step. I think it's important. You know, the share function, that's what influences virality, you know. If you're able to share with friends, that's an exponential growth if they keep sharing. The Facebook Connect link, I wasn't too familiar about. Obviously, from a consumer standpoint, I knew about it where you are signing up for a new service or creating a new login somewhere. You have the option to just log in with Facebook. That's what he's talking about. And apparently when you log in using your Facebook, it kind of announces it to your Facebook friends. The button that invites people to do business with you is also important. He talks about how you can put this on your website or your blog before you actually know the nature of the business you're wanting to conduct with people. Like, you know, if you're wanting to sell advertisement or if you're wanting a sponsor, he's saying to just go ahead and put it up there, because while you might not think you're ready at a certain point, someone that sees your content might actually be interested in sponsoring at an earlier stage. So yeah, I think this is good because you're not going out and prematurely reaching out to people before you have actually built an audience, but you are giving people the option to opt in to work with you. So that's good. I really like that. Number 10, create a Facebook fan page. Self-explanatory. Number 11, sign up for PingFM or Toot Mobile, I think that's what he says. Again, it was an audiobook, so I thought he was saying Toot Mobile. So I had never heard of these, so I ended up looking them up. PingFM shut down in like 2012. They turned into something else, Ping, and then that company got bought out by Hootsuite. So Hootsuite is the one that is currently around, and what that allows you to do is to create one piece of content and schedule the post on various different platforms. So, you know, you can schedule a post, the same post, to go out on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and that's all from your Hootsuite account. That service is currently $30 a month. I looked into that. It does look like there's some good tools that it offers. $30 is definitely steep, especially because Instagram allows you to already share to Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr, I believe, all from your post, but it does not allow you to schedule. I think the business account might allow you to schedule, I'm not sure. Gary Vee also mentions that Twitter and Facebook are a must. And what I think is funny is I don't think Instagram was out when he wrote this book. So that would be why he never mentions it. When did Instagram start?
Instagram was launched on October 6, 2010.
So Instagram actually wasn't even out when he wrote this book, nor when he did the audio book version. So yeah, I would say Instagram is definitely one of those top 3. So Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all the ones to pay attention to. Okay, step number 12, post content. And step number 13, create community by replying to other people's blogs and forums and replying to comments on your own blog. So basically just engaging with your community and with the community at whole who is in your niche. Gary Vee is also known for an Instagram growth tactic called $80 growth strategy. I believe that came out about a year ago, or he talked about it about a year ago. We are doing a video on that topic. There will be a link at the end of the video where you can get to that video. Number 14, which is use Twitter search. So that is at search.twitter.com, and you can search for people who are actually talking about your specific topic, and you can engage with them. So we're also going to be doing a video about this. I think it's a very important strategy that you can use. In the book, he talks about how Advil could, search for people who have commented that they had a headache recently and offer up free Advil. Like that just, I don't know, seemed really brilliant to me. And the fact that you can just search through Twitter posts it's like an amazing tool. So yeah, definitely use that. All right, number 15, use blogsearch.google.com. And this is the same concept except for blogs. I haven't looked too much into this, but it seems valid as well, especially if you're looking for like influencers or like partners, different things of that nature. Number 16, join as many Facebook fan pages and groups relating to your topic. 17, repeat steps 12 through 16 over
and over and over and over and over.
Yeah, and in the book he just keeps saying over, I think for like 2 minutes. So number 18, do it again. Number 19, and again. Number 20, when you feel your personal brand has gained sufficient attention and stickiness, reach out to advertisers and begin monetizing. We'll probably create a video over different monetization strategies for your audience, but yeah, I mean, he just notes advertisers here. Just make sure they align with your personal brand and kind of what you're trying to accomplish. And number 21, enjoy the ride. So he makes 2 points here. The process is greater than the results, and the process is greater than the things you can buy. All right, so that is the end of the checklist. Again, I would say this book is still relevant, but that is mainly due to it being more conceptual than actual technical information. But I still would recommend, I think it's a valuable addition to your audiobook library or bookshelf if you are trying to accomplish something similar to Gary Vee, or if you're trying to build an online presence or personal brand. I definitely would recommend. So again, in the description there is a link for a free audiobook. So yeah, thanks again. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we will see you next time.